are a product of that land because you were brought forth. And the covenant of wealth. That's why, if you remember, the first time when we went there, we did not even have anyone. Remember, the church would be packed, but there's no one from Ruiru. The church is packed. No one from Ruiru. That's why people began getting good jobs from, good contracts from. We began driving. There, people never used to drive cars. We would go in driving. Now we are talking about parking. Because the covenant was, you understand what I'm saying? It was always there, but then it requires, there is a blessing that a person must have themselves to carry it out. Now I'm telling you that because God was addressing this to the children of Israel. The blessing he speaks about from verse 1, from verse 2 to verse 14, is the blessing of the man, not the land. Of the man. Not the land. So when you begin reading the curse from verse 15, he says, and if you shall not obey these commandments, he says, then cast shall thou be. So what does he do? He curses the man first. The man must be cast first. But the land remains with its blessing. So that you have now a land that is cursed, a man that is cast in a land that is blessed. A man that is cast in a land that is blessed. Now he will be sustained for a time because of the blessing of the land. The land will still bring forth. It will still bring forth. It will not bring forth as it ought to bring forth for a blessed man. But it will bring forth. But that manifestation of this man that is cast, remaining in that land, will also begin now tampering with the blessing of the land. That's what you now read until when you get to verse 67, where he says, and you shall all be returned back to ships to Egypt. So now that the land vomits you out. Are you understanding what I'm talking about? But when you read the Bible, you will understand it. If you go and take now this message and say, there's something this man said, well, let me go and listen to it. Then you begin reading the Bible, you will see exactly everything I'm telling you. That's how it is. So, for that blessing over the land to be turned to a curse, the man on that land must continue to be cursed. He retains himself in the space of the curse. So that curse begins to eat. God said in the book of Zechariah that he will send a curse to the house of a thief that shall eat the stones and eat the wood. The curse that shall eat the stone and shall eat the wood. Yeah. One of the things that God used to show to the children of Israel is when a house would have mildew, it would have to be sanctified. Anything that would have mildew, because that was a consumption. It's not an ecosystem, it's consumption. God has put all these things in lands. There is a thing that the earth can bring forth. There are also other things that the land can bring forth. You've got to understand what is it that is dominating your lands. God showed that when a land is desolate, it is occupied by serpents and scorpions and jackals. Sign of desolation and devastation. Very interesting things to understand. Very interesting. What are the things that are occupying the lands that you're in? It should have been 2012. We had just gotten married. So we decided to go to Kilifi to see the churches in Kilifi and also to have our honeymoon, to extend our honeymoon because we did not have a very good one. So we decided to do ourselves justice and we took ourselves there. Right. That I'm telling the married couples, you can always do it again. Don't do the wedding, do the honeymoon. Again. Hallelujah. Pesa ya kukulisha watu mchele ni nyingi. Nani mkakuli hiyo mchele peke yenu? The renewal of the vows. The vows are already fine. What we're going to do is take ourselves and eat the honey again. Anyway. So when we went there, my wife told me because she was so excited about the Kilifi, her ministry in Kilifi and all that. She told me, let's go to where Makuhenga. That time I was using my mom's car. She had a Premio, and it was a bit low. Iko imewekwa space, hizo vitu zote zinafanyangwa ndio gari inainuliwa. So we went there. Then as I turned to get into the dirt road, right now the road is tarmacked. That one is tarmacked from Mariakani to Kilifi. But as I turned to get in, I mean, you can't imagine. I turned to get in like this, and the first thing I see on the road is a snake. I turned like this. I said, where's my